Here we go. Okay, ready?
Go.
Okay,
Mike.
okay, one, okay.
Ask, okay, go. Okay, let's take one. Take two.
Oh, let me try it again. Okay.
Take two.
Cut that again.
Ask the question.
That's a good question.
Well, first of all, we're 2 years older.
I got a pain right here.
I think we're a little more mature. And as musicians, that's very hard to come by because we're known for being children that never grow up. I think that's one of the neat things about Petra. We have 5 guys who know where they're going.
Can I run over to Walmart real quick?
Know where they've come from.
Started back in my childhood.
I mean, that's important.
A fly, oh. Must be that hairspray. It couldn't be me.
In the last 2 years, we've done everything from do a Spanish praise and worship album for South America and Spain. We have played at Farm Aid, which was an experience in itself. We've accomplished a European tour that we really felt was very, very successful.
The longing the Europeans have for good Christian music and the way they'll support it if they're given the opportunity, it just blew my mind.
We plan to make Europe a regular stop.
Boy, to be able to talk about Jesus Christ and to have a bond with somebody you've never met that's the other side of the earth, it's just a remarkable feeling.
Well, the set was fabulous, and I really hope we get all these minds together that think of good sets and lighting situations and come up with something better because they're going to have something really, really strong to have to follow.
As far as a highlight, there's been many. I mean, we did something at Farm Aid, and that was, to me, that was a highlight because it broke another barrier. We walked out and did 3 songs that praised the Lord, and they were like stunned but respectful, and I think a lot of them respected what we had to do. It was televised all over the country. They got to see a Christian group be Christian.
Hi,
We're Petra.
are we going to all do it or just?
Why don't you just say, hi, I'm Bob Hartman.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, hi, I'm Bob Hartman.
Hi, I'm Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Hartman.
We're Bob Hartman. Okay.
Just reach out and he'll reach in. Take your broken heart and make it whole again. It don't matter who you are, where you've been. Just reach out and he'll reach out.
This album, I really like the title.
Wake Up Call is a very, very apt name for this record. I think that it's going to sound more earthy, more real, not so processed.
How many woes?
Too many.
We use a lot of natural ambience rather than digital effects and so forth.
There's a lot of woes on this album, from the rockers to the slow stuff.
I think musically, it's a lot of fun kind of music.
Exactly.
There's some very kicking stuff, some really nice lighter rock.
Bob should do the talking.
To be honest with you, we haven't really heard it, but I heard it's going good.
Yeah, we hear it's really good.
Oh, there's a big difference. All the other albums have been done in Los Alamitos in California. This was done in Nashville.
Working in Nashville has afforded us the possibility, in my case, to drop by the studio every couple of days just to listen, offer suggestions, learn a little bit.
I've never recorded like that before. This is the first album I've ever recorded where I lived in the same city as I recorded. And it was a real joy for me. I really liked it a lot.
Working in Nashville has been a great pleasure, especially when my wife was in her 9th month of pregnancy. What is this? Every time we have a record, we have a child. I think we need to stop that trend.
And you guys look like you've been at the beach.
That's because we've been
That's because you're artists.
Can we get serious here?
Brown Bannister, our producer.
Brown, can't place the name with the face.
I've really respected his work. He's tremendously impacted the industry and ministries for years now.
Working with Brown was never a decision on bitterness about a situation in Johnny Dino or anything. We had a great relationship with him and still do.
We wanted something that would be really coming from a different kind of angle. And Brown, of course, is an excellent producer and has a great track record.
There's a very open door policy with working with Brown Bannister. He's very in tune with listening to what your suggestions are.
I mean, guys, relax.
These guys have been the hallmark in, Christian rock. This group has been, a big part of creating the genre. And so it's an honor from that standpoint because what they've done in the past has not been bad. I mean, they've done some really great records. John and Dino have done a phenomenal job. I think there just comes in the life of every artist, there comes a time when it's good to get a fresh perspective, a different slant, a different angle. One thing I'm really happy with is that we took a week out to go to New York and capture basically what we were going up there for was drums, so we got some guitar and bass, and we recorded at a studio called the Power Station.
Power Station! Da-da-da-da!
It's a very punchy, powerful rock sound.
The part of that earthier feel of the record, the more natural sounds are going to come from that experience.
We've got all sorts of eclectic arrays of guitars. Bob's brought in every amp known to man.
There can only be one Bob Hartman of Petra, and that's me.
To the point that we've gotten right now, I'm ecstatic. I think it's going to be phenomenal.
I think where Brown's real strength is discernment of melody first, and then discernment of lyric content and conceptual whole of an album.
I put a lot of emphasis on the material, and not just having 3 great singles, but 10 really great songs that go, not just great songs too, but great songs that all fit together and make an experience.
And Wake Up Call actually wasn't a name of any song, but it seemed like the collective whole of all these songs started bringing a central message that interplayed to each other.
Definitely a unique band effort, most definitely, with all 5 people having a very direct and very open and honest input on song selection on every single thing.
4 out of the 5 guys wrote at least part of songs, which I think is also very exciting. Bob and Ronnie wrote 3 together. Johnny wrote a song with a little help from one of our crew guys. I wrote a song with a friend of mine.
The first one that Bob and I worked on was Sleeping Giant. I think it's very appropriate for where Christians in a global sense are today. Now certainly there's the awakening and a revival in many lives of many Christians, but the body of Christ a lot of times is just sleeping.
I think we're seeing Christian ideas and ideals fading into the background more and more.
Sometimes you can get lulled and you need a wake-up call so you can hear God.
It's not alarmist, if you will, but I think it is an alarm to say to people, let's wake up and understand this world that we live in today and understand how the world is influencing the church as well as how the church is influencing the world.
I think we're at a very critical time. I've never seen a point in my life when I've been more concerned with young people, the pressures that they are under.
The lyrics on this album, I pray, will encourage somebody to stand strong for Jesus Christ, stronger than they were before.
We're trying to convey God's love, His saving grace.
We do talk about our faith, sing about our faith in our music.
The kids want to hear music because they want to be entertained, and that's cool. But we want them not only to be entertained, we want a message that's very positive for their lives to sink in.
It humbles you because you know they're looking to you for the answer, and you're representing Jesus Christ, and they're holding on to that because that's all they got left to hold on to. And that's when you realize the magnitude and intensity of what you're doing out there.
They need to know how to study the Bible and how to stand up for Jesus Christ, or, in their generation, they'll fall away.
I think that about wraps it up.